Let me ask you something that's going to make you uncomfortable. What if I told you that the difference between you and history's worst monsters isn't character, it's just circumstances you haven't faced yet? In 1971, Dr. Philip Zimbardo at Stanford University wanted to answer the ultimate question about human nature. He took 24 ordinary college students, people just like you, with families who loved them, dreams for the future, moral codes they lived by. He randomly split them into guards and prisoners in a fake prison. The plan? Observe for 2 weeks and see what happens. The 6-hour transformation. What happened next should terrify every single person watching this video. Within 6 hours, not days, not weeks, but 6 hours, the guards began psychologically torturing the prisoners. They forced them to clean toilets with their bare hands, made them simulate sexual acts, and denied them basic human dignity. The prisoners broke down completely. Grown men were crying, begging to go home, accepting abuse as if they deserved it. Would you be a guard or prisoner? But here's the part that'll keep you awake tonight. These weren't actors. These weren't people with criminal histories or psychological disorders. These were honor students, future doctors, teachers, engineers, people who'd never even gotten a speeding ticket. And before you think, I'd never do that, remember, they thought the exact same thing. The Milgram bombshell. But Stanford wasn't alone. Around the same time, Yale professor Stanley Milgram was conducting experiments that would make your blood run cold. He told volunteers they were helping with a learning study. Their job? Every time the learner got a question wrong, shock them with electricity. The shocks started at 15 volts, like a static shock. But each wrong answer meant turning up the voltage. 50 volts, 100, 200. At 300 volts, the learner would scream and beg them to stop. At 330 volts, the learner would go silent, presumably unconscious or dead. Here's the number that should haunt you. 65% of ordinary people shocked all the way to 450 volts, what they believed was a lethal dose. 65% of people, just like you, committed what they thought was murder because a man in a lab coat told them to. But that was the 1970s, you're thinking. People are different now. I'm different. Wrong. Modern brain scans have revealed something even more disturbing. Harvard neuroscientist Joshua Greene discovered that your moral decisions aren't made by some noble part of your character. They're made by 2 brain systems fighting each other. System 1, your emotional gut reaction brain. System 2, your logical thinking brain. How easy it is to hack your morality. And here's where it gets personal. System 2, your good brain, can be hijacked by things so simple you won't believe it. Sleep deprived? You're 43% more likely to make unethical choices. Hungry? Your moral standards drop by 31%. Under time pressure, you'll choose the selfish option 67% of the time. Sitting in an uncomfortable chair, you'll judge others more harshly. Think about the last time you were hangry. That road rage you felt when you were hungry and late? That time you were cruel to someone when you were stressed? That wasn't the real you having a bad moment. That was the real you when your moral brain was offline. But here's the most terrifying discovery of all. UCLA research found that being in positions of power literally rewires your brain to care less about other people. CEOs, politicians, influencers, even managers. Their brains show decreased empathy and increased reward-seeking behavior. Power doesn't just corrupt, it neurologically transforms you into someone who sees other people as objects. How many followers equals power? Think about that influencer who seems so out of touch, that boss who doesn't care about employees, that politician who makes heartless decisions. Their brains literally change to make them that way. And if you have any kind of authority over employees, followers, even your kids, your brain is changing too. But we're not all doomed, right? Now, before you have an existential crisis, let me throw you a lifeline, but it comes with a catch. Not everyone in these experiments conformed. Some guards stayed humane. Some people refused to shock. Some individuals consistently make ethical choices even under extreme pressure. Comment, what's your moral line? The question is, which type of person are you? And more importantly, how would you know until you're tested? The uncomfortable truth. Here's what the research really shows. We all have a moral range. At our best, in perfect conditions, we can be heroes. At our worst, under pressure with poor leadership, we're capable of evil that would horrify our better selves. You're not a good person or a bad person. You're a human person, and that means you're morally vulnerable. This research destroys the comforting myth that the world is divided into good people and evil people. It reveals that we're all capable of both extraordinary kindness and shocking cruelty, depending on the situations we face. But here's the twist. This isn't a reason to despair. It's a call to action. Instead of asking, how could they do such a thing? We should ask, how can we create situations where such things become impossible? The most important moral choice you make isn't in the heat of crisis, it's in the quiet moments when you design the environments that will test you later. If your moral behavior is so situation-dependent, what does that say about free will and personal responsibility? Think about the worst thing you've ever done. Were you being your true self, or were you responding to pressures you didn't recognize? If we're all morally vulnerable, how do we build a world that brings out our angels instead of our demons? Remember that test I gave you at the beginning, whether you'd ever thought about hurting someone? The truth is, that thought doesn't make you evil, it makes you human. But what separates us from our darkest impulses isn't some special goodness inside us. It's the conscious choice to build systems, relationships, and environments that nurture our better angels. The future isn't about creating perfect people. It's about creating perfect situations. Because in the end, we're not the heroes or villains of our stories. We're the architects of the conditions that decide which we become. So, here's my challenge to you. Look at your life right now. What situations are you creating that might be slowly corrupting your moral compass? What environments are you designing for the people you have power over? Drop a comment and tell me, what's one change you'll make after learning this? I read every single comment, and some of your insights might save someone else from their worst impulses. If this video made you question everything you thought you knew about human nature, smash that like button and subscribe for more psychology that'll blow your mind. Next week, why your brain is literally addicted to suffering and how social media exploits it. The algorithm doesn't want you to see this one. And remember, you're not as good as you think you are, But you're not as evil as you could be. The difference is the choices you make right now.